What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night podcast. I'm your host, Mark Francis, here with my fellow co-host, Oscar Morale.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And we got Colin Fursley.
Hey, what's up?
And we don't got anyone else. Come on, Marco. Where are you at, bro? Making me
He's in
cry.
Cocoa Beach, actually. Shout out
I know,
Marco in
shout
Cocoa
out
Beach.
Cocoa Beach, bro. Colin Fursley.
Bro, I love that
Jitty, bro.
place. Yep,
Shout out Jitty.
absolutely.
Well, we have a good one for you guys today, and I think first of all we can start off with some F1 news. Let me see here if I can pull that up.
F1 season started again this week
Oh yeah.
on Friday.
Well, as you guys can see here, F1 started this past weekend. FP1, FP2, FP3 qualifying, and then of course the race. What's expected? I mean, what's new, guys? Verstappen always topping the leaderboard. I mean, everyone said this year things are different. Practices, Verstappen seems to be not happy with the car, issues and whatever. He does not care. This guy's the biggest menace in F1 history, bro. Like, this guy's more of a menace than Kimi Räikkönen. Okay. He was leading this race by 22.5 seconds. Last year, this exact race, he was leading by 12.5. This year, 22.5 seconds. So for 22 seconds, there was no one behind him until his own teammate pulled up. His own teammate. We know Red Bull has built, the supercar, and last year they were absolutely unstoppable. But I mean, is it going to continue? It seems like it is. Do we know? I mean, anything's possible. Of course,
We will
Sainz and
see.
Leclerc.
Yeah,
Yep, coming in the 3-4 position. They were definitely fighting for
Ferrari
that third.
Ferrari is definitely coming back and
Yeah, absolutely.
fighting for some good spots.
Absolutely. I think it's people are saying this is going to be Sainz's revenge season because Hamilton will be taking up his seat next year at Ferrari for the 2025 season, which is really interesting to say the least. But again, what's new with Charles Leclerc always having some sort of issue with the car and affects his race. George Russell coming in at fifth. The Mercedes guys, just always something. And at least McLaren this year are starting a little more hot than they were last year. But I don't, personal prediction, I don't see them doing great as we move forward in the season. And then Aston Martin getting a 9-10, at least getting some points. Nothing crazy, but definitely a good race that happened here. And it's exciting. Excited to see what the next few races hold up for F1. I'd love to see more people win besides Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. And with that being said, anyone else would like to share about the F1?
Um, I mean, I think you kind of covered the bases, Mark. Red Bull's the new Mercedes.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to their old winning ways from that 2010 to 14 era when they had Sebastian Vettel.
Oh
And
yeah,
they had Sebastian Vettel.
that was
Um,
special.
yeah, that was insane and incredible to witness. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see going forward. Maybe Hamilton could put up a good fight next year. I'm really excited to see. I believe it's 2026 when the new manufacturers will join the grid.
Yeah, I think it's to be really interesting with the new FIA
Uh,
rules and Audi will be joining in F1 and it's I think there's gonna be a lot of different moves in the F1 community, different drivers going to different
Porsche
teams.
was originally supposed to join also, but they backed out of the deal, I believe, a little bit over 2 years ago. They were originally
So,
supposed to join with Audi at the same time,
yeah.
which would have been very interesting to see because we know whenever Porsche takes on an aspect of motorsport, they tend to dominate.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, they first of all they build great street legal race cars like the GT3 RS. I mean, just imagine these guys building an F1 car.
well, I
I
mean,
mean,
they've dominated Le Mans. They've been the most
oh
successful
yeah, absolutely.
uh, manufacturer at Le Mans in its existence, and nobody's even that close in second with the amount of championships they have.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
definitely very very exciting. And now we move into some more exciting stuff for you viewers that aren't into the F1 realm that much. Just a little NBA NBA news going around here. Let me pull it up here.
The local Heat fans that we are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
And talking about the NBA, we got some standings and just some little things coming in. Right after All-Star break. Colin, you want to start us off with the Heat situation that occurred little while
Yeah.
ago?
So I mean, as you guys saw, I guess it was a little bit ago now, but the Heat, specifically Jimmy Butler, got into a fight with some members on the Pelicans during a game that happened last Friday, so a week ago by the time you guys see this. And yeah, I mean, it was Kevin Love committed a foul on Zion, and then things started getting out of
Which,
control.
which, by the way,
It
that
was nothing.
foul on
Yeah.
Zion was very customary, very ordinary foul. It was blatant and complete overreaction on Zion's part. No,
Well, Zion didn't really do anything. It was more so some of his teammates that kind of went,
well,
you
they
know.
came out in his defense because afterwards, when after he came down, he came up whining, and then they kind of just backed him up. Um, but Zion needs to get off the toilet, man. I know you have those soda cans stashed next to the toilet. You're nasty. You're gross. Your eating habits were leaked over the summer. Uh, you're not a 10-year-old kid. You're a professional NBA player. Get in shape. I'm not trying to see your belly button in the middle of the game. Um,
Oh man.
you're ruining yourself because you are a generational talent that the league would love to see. So don't ruin it for yourself and for your loved ones around you. Go get in shape. Throw out the soda cans. Throw out all the junk food.
I mean,
Get
he's been playing a
yourself.
lot better this year though.
He
So
has. You know what? At
yeah.
least we can say he has been playing. Whereas before, he's been very injury prone. He's
Yeah.
playing, but at what cost, man? Come on.
It looks like he's cut down on the Taco Bell a little bit. I guess he
A
doesn't
little
want
bit.
the
Yeah.
Crunchwrap Supreme and the Baja Blast Freeze, but shoot, I take that any day, man. If I was Zion, give me a chicken quesadilla as well.
Oh man. Well, besides that fight, Jokic. I'm sorry, not Jokic. Jovic and Jimmy Butler and Thomas Bryant, they got suspended for a couple games. I
Yeah,
think
they
they're all
did.
back now.
Yes, they are.
Well, so the Heat actually they just finished up a game against the Utah Jazz at home, so they actually just jumped Orlando back into the sixth spot. They have the same record. I guess just the tiebreak puts Miami ahead of them, so I guess that
Right.
graphic hasn't been updated yet. But
Of-
yeah,
Um, Also had a NBA Finals rematch for the first time this season against
yeah,
the Jokic-led Nuggets and lost by 6 points. It was a nail biter. It was a very good game,
Yeah.
and the Nuggets were just resilient, man. They played in Denver, and the Heat came out to play. Brought the intensity, but man,
Just
those
some
Nuggets are scary when
some
they play good.
it was some first quarter and third quarter struggles that we had a little bit that just brought our team down. I think if we had not had struggled that much in the first and third quarter, we would have had a better outcome to that game. Uh,
Yeah,
Definitely the finals rematch without Tyler Hero. Technically, you could say that's how the
a
finals really
true a
was.
true finals rematch.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like if Tyler Hero is playing right now, which I don't know why he's even injured right now, what's going on with him, but that game would have possibly had a different outcome. But definitely
well, I
exciting.
mean, I think you also have to take into account the fact that Jamal Murray barely played. He got injured,
Yeah,
twisted his ankle, so that also helped the Heat. Jokic actually played like, I mean, it's Jokic, so he didn't play bad, but he played poorly compared to how he normally does. It was just a
it's
very
because that
sloppy
Bam
game, a lot of
Adebayo lockdown
turnovers.
defense, bro.
He was playing good defense. He just couldn't shoot the ball for his life, and so which makes it
Yeah,
sad that he was our leading scorer of that game. I mean, Terry Rozier could not hit anything. He was airballing all of his shots. Um,
Scary Terry was playing
it
scarily.
just a lot of turnovers. It was a bad game, and we still lost by only 6 in Denver to the
yeah.
Nuggets. So it was a bad game to watch, but I guess slightly encouraging because our defense played so well. Uh,
Of
Man,
course.
I was
so
we were so close to going to that game, but some things fell through. It would have been so fun to be at that game. But one of the stat lines that was really interesting was Michael Porter Jr. having more than one assist in the game, which is, it's unheard of. He had three
Yeah, he
assists.
had
I
a
mean,
great game.
that's crazy. Dropping 30 points. I mean, man, 7 more assists. He had a triple-double. Anyone know how the max amount of assists Michael Porter Jr. has had in the game? I think it's like maybe 4 or 5. That guy does not pass the rock, bro. He does not
MPJ,
pass
no.
that thing,
He,
bro.
he's a what I like to call a backpack school shooter. You know, those kids come on with a backpack on during PE. They're like, "Yo, let me get a shot. Let me get, let me." That's MPJ in the NBA, man. He's
Man,
got
we
his
had
backpack on. He's walking into the gym and he goes, "Yo, let me get that shot."
man.
He
That
shoots
reminds me a
it,
Yeah,
lot
man.
of the
and
Miami
and he,
Cole
and
Park
he
Junior High School, home of the Rams. All the backpack kids, bro.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Flipping
Yeah, that's a pretty
twits.
good analogy. He just takes the ball and just chucks it at the rim. And he actually happened to make some of his shots this
he
game,
gets
Yeah.
so
he gets paid millions of dollars to be a backpack shooter, man. Gotta love it.
hey man.
Well, what do you
Well,
guys think of what's his name, Jaime Jaquez Jr.? He's returned from his calf injury. He doesn't seem to be playing entirely the same as he was pre-injury. What do you guys'
yeah,
thoughts on that?
he started off a little slow. I mean, his productivity hasn't been the same. I can check his
I think
minutes.
it's
How
okay.
many?
You know,
I think he had
you don't
12
really
points
want to
tonight.
load him on too much. Pressure, especially with the playoffs right around the corner. Kind of want to ease him back into the rotation. Just make sure everything's okay, clicking and ready to go once those playoffs do start or the play in. You can never count yourself out, and just making sure that we're healthy. It was our biggest concern last year in the playoffs was health, and we didn't play
Yeah,
with guys like Tyler Hero, Victor Oladipo, bunch of players. So it's just sad to
yeah.
see.
I mean, he's also like he still played 27 minutes, but
Yeah,
he
he's
only
playing a
took
lot of
five.
minutes.
He only took 5 shots though, so I think has had a little bit more of a reserved role coming back. And then in this game, that just finished less than an hour ago, he played. I mean, he played a little bit better. He had what? He had 3 points against the Nuggets. Then this game he had
Yeah, like 12 maybe,
where is
13.
he? He had 12 points on in 29 minutes. So it's starting to ramp up a little bit. Hopefully he can sustain that going forward and improve his productivity. But Jimmy Butler has been very calm lately, not really his true self, and he just comes back now. 36 minutes, 37 points, a season high for Jimmy Butler. And then Adebayo complements that with 23 of his own. And Caleb Martin, he left the game early, got hit in the mouth, but still 18 points on 23 minutes. Pretty good showing out of him.
But he
So it
came
was a
back.
pretty
I
good,
think
pretty
I
good
think he
win.
played in part of the fourth quarter, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
he got hurt in the fourth quarter. He left the game
Oh,
uh, at
I
the very end of the fourth quarter. He got hit in the mouth by John Collins. But I mean,
uh,
it should not be a terrible
John
injury. He'll
Collins.
be
What a
fine.
dweeb.
Yeah, what a dweeb.
What a
Yeah, this is
man! What a man!
good.
What a
This is a
man!
good game by the Miami Heat.
Great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
got a
I
good
mean,
W
Yeah.
on a pretty good team. In the Western
y-
Conference. It's all right.
yeah,
They're all right.
we play the Pistons on Tuesday at home, so we definitely need to win that game. And then after that, we got a little tough stretch: Mavericks, Thunder, Wizards, whatever. But then the Nuggets, and then we play the Pistons twice in a row. So we
Well,
definitely have to have those games.
actually, I saw this graphic the other day. The Heat have the second easiest schedule for the rest of the season in the NBA, which is good because it means we can get a lot of wins for that playoff seeding. So as long as
That is
all of
true.
our cylinders are firing, and we go on and we check off all the marks that we need to check off according to Coach Spoelstra and the organization, I believe we'll be ready come playoff time.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so as well.
I think
We have
so
a
as well.
couple tough teams in there, but besides the tough teams, everyone else is pretty bad. I mean, when you play in, we're playing a pretty weak division, so we got a lot of games against the Wizards, the Pistons, not the Pistons are not in our division, but the Wizards. So we got to take care of business in those games, and then
Of
Yeah,
course.
absolutely.
when we play those tougher teams,
When
what
we
the
played the
Thunder,
Mavs or the
Nuggets, Cavs
Thunder
twice.
or the
So I mean,
Sixers,
you got to win at least a couple of those games to stay in it.
yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, you already know it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as we make the playoffs, we're going to the finals, so it doesn't really matter.
Ball knowledge, real ball knowledge. People with real ball
Absolutely.
knowledge know.
I know.
Listen, I
They-
mean,
they-
if our playoff team this year is healthy, If we even have Tyler Hero, like even the fact of having Tyler Hero, uh, the East is in trouble. The East is in trouble. It's plain and simple.
Yeah. We just need playoff Jimmy to come back, but pre New
Oh
York
yeah,
Knicks playoff Jimmy, not after that. But
yeah, absolutely.
we should be fine though. So
His
yeah,
airness, the
yeah,
second coming of his
absolutely.
airness
Yep,
in that
for
first round.
sure.
Yeah, that was a crazy first round versus the Bucks, man.
That was
And
a crazy first round.
The knighting
yeah,
of
that
his
was awesome.
airness the second.
Yep. Well,
It's fun stuff.
now we will move on to the last segment of the podcast. I thought it was really interesting. So I guess a week ago now at this point as well, the NFLPA released their report cards. So they do anonymous surveys with all of the different what the heck? Anonymous surveys from players that play for each team, and they rank them, or not rank them, but they have different categories as you can see here, and then you tally up all the grades and what the heck is happening, and you get the mark. Okay, you get the grades. So, Mark, I guess you'll. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we got it up
So
here. Sorry.
no, you're all good. You're all good. So, the Dolphins had the best overall grade, in the entire NFL, and the Vikings came in second. And then, very interestingly, which has been talked about a lot, is the Kansas City Chiefs, two-time Super Bowl champions in the last 2 years, second to last overall. And I just thought a lot of that was very interesting. And I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys? So I'll ask you this question: do you think? Well, clearly these grades don't reflect on-field performance when it comes to the Chiefs. But do you think this is sustainable? Do you think they continue to have these poor grades when it comes to their facilities and still continue to maintain the success?
Uh,
I'll
you
have to
know,
say yes and no. And here's what I mean by yes. At the end of the day, these are still multi-million-dollar facilities, even the lower end ones, right? Like success is definitely still
That's true.
achievable at a uh, term, in a long-term sense. The thing with this is and I think what matters most when it comes to long-term success in any league is cohesion and um, consistency. That's the word I was looking for. Cohesion and consistency. So in any given season, you want cohesion in your team, and then you're gonna want stability and consistency in your coaching position. The team should have a plan that starts at 1 year when the coach comes in, and that coach should be able to build on his plan going forward to be able to build evolutions of his team. So when you have that plan, that allows you to build cohesion in the team. And when you keep your coach, that allows you to build consistency and stability. Because when the players know that this is the top dog, this is the coach, he's not getting fired anytime soon, they're allowed to just submit and accept, not accept, but submit and follow whatever ideas the coach is trying to implement into the team. Like fully be in tune with them and commit to them, and not question and start to deviate from them. And I think that's what's allowed. I mean, the recent success we've seen on any of the major teams in the NFL, whether it be the Chiefs, the Patriots, the 49ers, and the Cowboys in the 90s, the Ravens and their long-standing ideology of a great defense. I think all those things are important and implemented into great NFL teams is cohesion and consistency.
Interesting, Mark. What do you think about that?
I think one thing that surprised me, as of right now, is the fact that the Chiefs' ownership is literally last place. I think that's really surprising. I feel like the Hunt family has always been supportive of the Kansas City Chiefs and have always tried to do their best, and trying to work in conjunction with the team, with the coaches, with the general managers, with all these different people.
Nutritionist is also very sad to see.
Yeah. Uh, I think the report cards are effective for the teams that don't know what's wrong, right? That don't know what is going on with them. But for the Kansas City Chiefs, giving them one of the worst grades in the NFL and them winning the Super Bowl really shows that regardless of what the NFL's player associations grade them on, it all comes down to how the players play. It all comes down to what the coaches' plays decide to do, how they practice, what Patrick Mahomes decides to throw to. It's all it is. I mean, I don't understand if it's like if the NFL player associations worry so much about team travel. Like, I get it. You want your players to be in a comfortable position and all these different things. No one hears about anything going on with team travel. No one hears about anything going on in the locker room or treatment of families or no one. It's all the same. Every player gets the same treatment. Every player gets the same insurance. If they ever get traded, they get a private jet to their new team that they're traded to. All these different things. Every player gets basically the same treatment. I personally don't. I
That's
don't
true.
see the need for this in the first place. To be real with you.
I think one benefit that could happen, being a Dolphins fan with the number one of everything, basically, if players are free agents, and I mean, they're not gonna take this into account fully, but if they're in between a couple teams, the money's there, the team is there, and they're trying to find, because they're not just moving, like, oh, people on the outside, oh, they're just switching teams. No, they gotta move there, they gotta move their families there, they have
Yeah,
to
of
have
course.
everything comfortable, they have to have good people taking care of them. They're basically moving their entire life there. So I think if you're a free agent and you're trying to think between certain aspects of like trying to decide pros cons of going to a certain place, I think this can really help players determine like if they want they want to go to this team but they want to see, oh, is my kid going to be treated properly, or is my team going to help my kid have a good education, go to a good school, check treatment of families, and there you go. So I think that if a player's in between going to do two different teams, they might be able to look at this list and they see, I'm going to use the Dolphins as an example. Oh wow, the Dolphins are number one. I'm going to go to Miami because they're going to treat me right. And I think that could maybe have some sort of weight on this
It definitely
decision that a player
does. You're
makes.
right. It definitely does influence the decision these players make. And I mean, we saw it with a player like Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill said that the reason he chose the Dolphins over the Jets was because of the situation here in Miami. The team's facilities, the team's amenities, and the income tax, the state income tax
Yeah.
in Florida compared to New York. So these things are favorable for these players of these NFL teams when looking at what teams they would like to move to.
Yeah.
I
So
I think you guys do have a point of that, and I have to agree with you guys fully on that. Um, and I think that's a great take. Uh, Maybe this shouldn't be shared with the public. Maybe this should be a within the NFL thing. But again,
why? Why do you think that?
I feel like if it's gonna come down to what would help players make decisions on where they would go, I don't think the general viewers of the NFL should really care about their team's report card. I mean,
Well, a lot of people care about it. I mean, we're talking about it right now. They talked about it on ESPN for a few days after this came out. So I think a
yeah,
lot of people are interested in it.
but also, it's very tough to compare teams as well. At some points, it's very tough to compare a set group of teams at different points in the NFL. You could say the same about the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals this year are trash. A few years ago, when they had Kyler Murray, they made a playoff push or whatever. They were pretty decent. Um, I think this is interesting. I didn't even know this was a thing, to be so honest with you.
No,
I
yeah,
didn't. I
yeah, I was very shocked to find out that the report goes this deep. Not that even that it existed, but just the fact that it takes so much of this into account.
I had I
Yeah.
had no clue, and the Dolphins are ranked number one in ownership. I don't know anything, and look, I'm a fan of the Dolphins. I'm not a die-hard, know-it-all fan like Colin Fursey. Like you tell him, who was the wide receiver on the 1982? Who was the wide receiver on the 1982 team? He'll tell you. Colin, who is it?
The 1982 team,
Yeah, wide receiver
uh,
one.
Bro, probably like Nat Moore or something. I don't even
All right, if
remember.
someone search that up, I guarantee you this
You
kid's
have
right,
such
and
a
he's
weird
within
that.
2 flipping years. Okay,
No, no, hold on,
but
hold on. I mean, that's a pretty specific year.
1982. We'll look it up.
But okay,
Dolphins.
continue going. Mark.
right, I'm not a diehard fan, and I don't know anything about the ownership. I don't even know who owns us. I don't know
Stephen
anything.
Ross, the guy that got
Jimmy
accused of,
Cephalo.
yeah,
I
Jimmy
don't know.
Cephalo.
I don't know
But
who that is.
He was. I think he was wide receiver
I
one.
yeah,
think I think
Nat
I
Moore,
just
Jimmy Cephalo. You know, that
I
was the
just
squad,
I personally only know the vice president of the Dolphins because he is a friend of mine's friend. I met him through a friend and whatever. Like
bro.
cool. Right, I don't.
Okay.
That's literally it, bro. I don't know anything about
Okay,
the
but
NFL. Just
you
tell me
remember
more.
that you remember Stephen Ross got accused of paying Brian Flores to lose games. So I was I was actually surprised that he was
I didn't even know that.
rated so high. You didn't? What do you mean you don't know that? Of course you know that.
I did not know that.
Okay, bro. Well,
That's
anyway,
crazy. So how's our
anyway,
guy
yeah,
number one?
yeah. So I was surprised with that as well. I think the majority of it, like they don't take into account if he's a good guy or whatever. They just take into account mostly how much he's willing to invest in his team. And we've been signing so many high name free agents and trading for high name guys like Jalen Ramsey, for example,
Oh yeah.
that people really like his willingness to spend money to help improve the team. And I think that's why he's rated so high because he's been really trying to do his best to help turn this team around.
Yeah, man. I mean, this team has a significant legacy in the NFL, and it's sad to see that they haven't really done anything in the post Dan Marino era. You know, like at least not anything of note.
Yeah, that's true.
Now is for example the locker room grade? Is that graded on the atmosphere of the
No,
locker room, or
no.
is that
It's
graded on
the it's
how nice the locker room
yeah,
is?
yes. It's the physical look of the locker room. Like,
And then for
is it
team travel, is
comfortable?
it based on convenience, or is it the fact that like Is it the fact that Miami
It's
Dolphins fly
the
like
amenities. It's the
American Airlines?
amenities.
Like
No,
like
it's the private jet
so the
basically.
Miami Dolphins basically have like American Airlines plane or whatever that's all first class seats, and then like the Arizona Cardinals are like on Frontier Airlines sitting in these yiggy ass seats or whatever. And,
Yeah, if you want to look at it like that, I guess, yeah.
I
And
don't know. I think it's interesting.
yeah, it is really interesting. It would be cool to see like, a deep dive into each player's thoughts on each topic.
Maybe
But
also the fact that we were on Hard Knocks this season kind of inflates this a little, because you want to look good for the documentary, and I'm sure the Dolphins spent a pretty penny on making sure everything was in tip-top shape.
I mean, I
I
guess. I
yeah.
don't think you can spend money and fix all your stuff within that short notice of realizing you're going to be on Hard Knocks, but
Well, no, that's not what I meant on short notice, but just the fact that Hard Knocks was there made everyone else, be on their A game
I
because
guess.
you were
I mean,
being recorded the
I
whole
don't think
season
that's
long.
I don't think that's a well, they were recorded for like 5 weeks, but I don't think that's a big deal because we ranked second last year and we didn't have Hard Knocks, so we just moved from second to first within a year, and we didn't have Hard Knocks
So
last year, so
do
we've
you
always been
think
good.
this will continue for the Miami Dolphins being first or second next year?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
No, yeah, they have great facilities, great amenities for the team. They have for a few years now, no, if I'm not mistaken, Colin.
Well,
They've been
yeah, I
pretty
mean
high, ranked high pretty for a few years now.
yeah, and their practice facility is brand new. It was just built like I think 3 years ago. So everything that they have is brand new. They used to have their facilities at Nova Southeastern University, and they just moved right across the street from Hard Rock. So that's why they're ranked
Oh
so
yeah,
high
we've
because
been there.
everything is brand new.
Yeah.
Of course,
Well, actually, the what's interesting is the Dolphins, before they were at Nova, they used to practice at St. Thomas University way back in the day when they had the, unbeaten season. They were practicing at St. Thomas University. Pretty interesting fact. Yeah.
pretty cool. Nice.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
I did
so
not know that.
there you go. Dolphins are the best team in the league. That's what we've been
The
saying.
more
Come on
you know.
now. All right, man. Well,
Well, I mean,
Mark.
definitely, pretty interesting. I really like this. I didn't know this was a thing. And do they do this for other sports?
Not that I'm
I
aware
feel
of.
like they should.
I
It's
Yeah.
think they
definitely
should.
something
I would
that the
love
fans would like to see.
I would love to see this for the NBA and the MLB and the NHL, the Big Four. I honestly would love to see. I would love to see where the Miami Heat would rank, where the Los Angeles Lakers would rank, where the Clippers, like all these teams that now it seems like you're learning more about these teams and what cool things are about them. I feel like other uh, sports should adopt this.
I can
I really.
feel it
Yeah.
climbing in the air tonight.
And yeah,
Oh Lord.
Yeah. All right,
I
man.
didn't. That's crazy.
A shout out to Hard Knocks at our very last episode when we went to go play the Chiefs. They played Phil Collins. I
I
can
didn't.
feel it
I
in the
didn't know we
air.
had Phil Collins on the podcast.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Man,
There you go.
pretty
You're gonna
pretty
take us
interesting
away,
week
Mark?
in sports. We look forward
Absolutely.
to some more stuff moving into
The
the
NBA
future.
is getting nice and crispy, nice
Oh
and
yeah,
spicy. So
That is
I'll
true.
be looking forward for that in the next few weeks.
MLB is starting soon.
That's
Really
true.
exciting to see. Definitely gonna go and ball hawk some games like Zach Campbell, Colin Fursley, and I. You already know.
Wait, you need to wait for the MLB season to start ball hawking? Come on now. Stop playing with me.
Uh
Come on,
oh.
stop playing, bro. Stop it.
Uh-oh.
Stop it right now.
Bro, this guy, bro, get a load of this guy. This guy who starts ball hawking in college games.
Shout out
Hey,
to my
man.
dad, Elisir.
I can't go to
He,
Miles
he,
Park.
he's been ball hawking. He's been ball
Shout out
hawking for
to
a while now.
Shout out to the biggest
Hey.
Raiders fan in Miami-Dade County, David Kirkpatrick. Raiders. Well,
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
guys, that pretty much does it for us. Another good episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night podcast. We'll get some more out to you soon. And take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.
Absolutely. See ya.
See y'all.
ya.